Want to learn how to collab on social media and grow your audience? Collaborations with influencers, peers, and more can be a game changer. So, we want to discuss ways that can help you step your gram up with collaborations. Okay, guys, this is going to be a very special episode for you guys, and we want you guys to get involved. We want to show you guys how we collab, and you could take a few points and tips from us because in this video, we're sharing our top Instagram collab tips to make collaborations easy and effective for you. And it's going to teach you how to grow with collabs, including answering questions such as how have we benefited from collabs on social media and which collaboration ideas would we suggest that are easy and effective for you to do starting today. So, with that all out the way, let's get into it today on our latest episode and help you step your gram up with the social roundtable. Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope that you guys are enjoying the day. Please excuse a little tardiness. Unfortunately, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are here. I see that we are streaming on YouTube, and I am so glad to not only be joined by you guys, but of course, the two individuals that have made the social roundtable what it is. One of them you've seen on the screen right now, but I want to make sure we give a great shout out to our moderator in the live chat. We have the live chat going on right now. If you guys are watching live, go ahead and share some love to our incredible moderator, Angela Vasquez. She's in there with you guys. If you have any questions, comments, just want to get the conversation going while we're speaking on the video, please go ahead, get the comments going. We'll be able to respond and even read a few of those that you guys have for us on the show. So go ahead, show a little bit of love to Angela, as well as to my co-host that you do see on the screen, Meagen. What's going on, Meagen?
Happy Monday. We are here. We are going to be covering such an important topic when it comes to collaborations, when it comes to all platforms and how to really grow your audience and build that community. It's going to be really awesome. I'm excited. I know we are waiting right now for our guests to jump on. They're having some technical issues, but hey, they'll get here. And once they do, we will dive into the juiciness. But for now, I'm interested to know everybody in the audience when you're watching. Have you ever done a collab on any platform? Let us know. Thumbs up, thumbs down, which one, all the deets. We love collabs, obviously. Heston and I, we do this social roundtable as a collab every week for you guys. So we might be a little biased in our love for them.
Yeah, a little biased, maybe, but I think it's well warranted because we've been doing this for about 3 years now, Meagen. And it's funny. I'm saying that because I was looking on the document today. We hold our documents of how many shows we've done and everything. This is season 3 and episode 26. That's quite a feat right there. If you ask me, I think that's really major. But we're going to get into it today as we talk more about collaborations. We're doing a special collaboration. Ladies and gentlemen, your eyes are not seeing double. That is Kacy and Kylie joining us. Welcome, Kacy and Kylie. How are you guys doing? I think you guys might be muted at the moment.
Hey,
we're gonna
hey,
get it all
hey, can you
together.
hear us?
Hey, we hear you guys loud and clear.
Yay,
Welcome to the
what's
social
going
roundtable.
on? Hello,
Happy Monday to you.
We are so excited to be here with you today, Heston and Meagen.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you returning back to the social roundtable. We've had you guys on as guests before when we used to do this on IG Live. So welcome to. I don't know if you noticed this nice new digs around. You know, it's nice here on YouTube. It's different. It's a little bit more interesting, and we have the most amazing audience joining in right now as well. So if you guys are watching, show a little bit of love with the emojis and shout out Kacy and Kylie in the live chat. If you guys are looking forward to seeing more from them, I'll let you guys know right now. We have their links in the description of this video, so go ahead and check that out and join the community. But Meagen, I'll go right back to you so you can kind of do the formal introduction of our guests.
Awesome. Yes. Well, you guys are in for a treat today because, Heston and I usually have one guest on with us. And today we have two, Kylie and Kacy Thibodeau-Harvey, and they are expert marketers and social media leaders, especially over on Facebook, helping grow and scale businesses online. Oh, they're gone. Hopefully they're coming back here. But yes, I'm not the only one, right? You see black? Okay,
no,
cool.
you're here. You're here. That's me playing around with the grid.
Oh, gotcha. Cool. Awesome. So as I was saying, they are experts. They're leaders in the digital marketing space and allowing teaching people to grow their businesses online, make money while doing things that they love. Kai and Case, take a moment to introduce yourself to everybody here watching.
Hello. Thank you both, Heston and Meagen, for having us. Your consistency, seeing this show every single week over the last few years has been incredible. I have not seen many people in the online space show up consistently week after week with the show, and being able to stay consistent shows so much about your dedication and your desire to serve your audiences. So we just want to thank you for all that you're doing. You really are impacting people all over. And to introduce us, Kylie and I were coming to you live from Maine, and we got introduced to the network marketing industry when we were 21 years old. That's what brought me into business. That's what inspired me to start building a business online. But here's the thing, I had no business being in business. I was waiting tables. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And then I made a decision. I wanted to live a different life. I was sick and tired of working in the restaurant industry. I was not smart enough to go to grad school. So Kylie and I and Meagen,
and we couldn't afford it.
And I couldn't afford it. So Kylie and I and Meagen made a decision. We are going to start investing in ourselves. And we traveled all around the country and went to every personal development conference we could. We spent so much time having other people pour into us, but we had to pay for flights and hotels just to hear from the best of the best. You're here today with two of the most incredible online Instagram influencers, and you get this for free. Like, this is insane. Like, think about the tens of thousands of dollars that we've all paid just to learn how to show up online. And so what we got passionate about was leading people and learning how to build communities and strong cultures. So that's what we're really good at. But when it comes to collaborations, this is going to be what can take your business to the next level. And it's not collaborations with influencers. So that is what we're going to cover today, and we're excited to share that with you.
So we're definitely have a couple different perspectives, but I'm pumped to be here. Something else about Kacy and I, we're also athletes. We've been in the health and wellness industry now for over 12 years. And so we went from not having success in business for 4 years. So if you're here and you're saying, you know what, I'm struggling. Here's the truth.
I want to quit. I'm done. I've given so much effort. Has anyone ever felt that way?
Sometimes what happens in life is that you want to build this business, you want to be successful, but you're kind of doing the things, but you're actually not doing the right things. And so it was actually collaborating with other people that took our businesses to the next level. It's what helped us both start making consistent income. And when we started doing that and we were consistent with that, 8 months later, we were able to quit our jobs waiting tables. And then a couple years later, we hit the 6-figure mark, and now we lead a large team. And it's just been an amazing ride. And currently we're in the middle of launching a startup, which has been super exciting. So we're all about launching right now, and I'm pumped for this conversation.
Awesome. Launch mode is a very interesting phase to be in. It can be a very tiring phase, but it's also an exciting phase. So best of luck with that. And hopefully we can hear a little bit more about that as well during our conversation. But thank you so much for that great introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are ready for a great conversation today. As you guys know, we are talking about and be sharing 4 easy ways so you can collab with not just, I might be saying Instagram collaborators because I'm so used to Instagram, but social media creators in general, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, a lot of the stuff that we are going to be discussing here today, you can apply for any type of platform. And maybe you might have to change things around a little bit to kind of make it more curated to that platform, but it's going to work overall because a lot of these things that we are sharing today, we have actually done ourselves, and we're going to speak on it. So thank you guys for joining us once again. This is the Social Roundtable. I have a couple questions that I will be posing to our guests and Meagen, and I'm sure that you guys have questions as well. So if you do, if you're watching live, please go ahead and share those questions in the live chat right now. I have it open on my second screen. If you have any questions, we might interrupt our part of our conversation and give it a little bit of time for your question, or maybe even save it at the end if we have enough questions to host a Q&A. But right now, we're going to get into the heart of our conversation about this topic, all about collaborations and how you can best utilize them in your own marketing strategy. So ladies, Meagen, Kacy, Kylie, are you all ready to get started?
Let's do it. We're excited.
Awesome. Well, I got an interesting question. I'm going to post this just to you two and Meagen. I'm going to leave. I'm very interested to hear your response to this. So according to my recent poll, and just to let you guys know that are watching, I have a poll right now in the live chat. Please feel free to respond to it. But I pretty much asked if anybody has ever took part in an Instagram collaboration. And surprisingly, the majority of respondents have not done any form of collaboration on Instagram. So what I want to do is I want to share a few personal reasons why you should consider collaborations as part of your own content strategy. So I'm going to go to you first, Kacy, and Kylie, you can follow right after. Whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or any other platform, how have you benefited from collabs on social media?
The biggest way that we benefit from collabs on social media is bringing on our clients and having them share their testimonial. So it's not even the influencer or the big creator, it's the person, the average user sharing their story. That has helped us tap into more networks, because if you think about the average user on social media, they know all the people they're connected with, especially on Facebook. It's not random people that are cold leads. So what we've done is we've learned how to help that person share their story using our product or service, and then you're not even selling, right? It's been the best kind of collaboration, because when you bring that regular person on and you have them share their story and their experience of why they use your product, what their results are, it sells everybody, because it's not just another influencer talking about a product, and it depends on what your intention is. We love using collaborations with experts as well. If I'm trying to share more about a product, if I'm trying to teach somebody more about a product I do not have the expertise in, bringing on an expert will not only expand your network, but it will also help build credibility with your current network. Your current network might not trust you as much as they do a doctor, especially if you're talking about a product line. And so one of the products Kylie and I love talking about is peptides. And with peptides, right, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a naturopath, I'm not a functional medicine doctor, but if I can bring on a holistic practitioner, if I can bring on a doctor to share more about why peptides are so beneficial, what happens? It builds trust not only with my audience, but then I get exposed to theirs. So those are the two biggest ways that we use collaborations. Is number one, with people sharing their testimonials. And we also do a lot of giveaways with collaborations, and we can get into that.
Nice,
and then also
nice.
bringing on an expert. Kylie, would you add anything?
And so when Kacy mentions giveaways, when we are doing collaborations, we actually do some kind of giveaway to lead people to a live presentation. And so the reason we do that is because most of the time someone hasn't bought your product because they don't have enough information, right? But sometimes, you know what we have to do? We have to hook them in to get them to watch a full video. Because if someone knows they have the chance to win something, they get excited, right? There's a lot of people.
There's an incentive for them to actually watch your whole presentation.
And there are a lot of people when you are doing, think about the mega bucks. How many people buy the mega bucks every single week? A lot of people, right?
Is it weekly or monthly? I have no idea.
I don't buy the mega bucks, but I know a lot of people who do. And so why do they do that, right? Because they have this hope to win something. And there's probably millions of people that enter in those drawings. And so I feel like one of the common myths is that, well, I don't have anything good to give away, or my thing isn't valuable and no one's going to want it, or it's that I just have one small product and so many people are going to get entered. Is it really fair for them to be for me to get people entered? Yes. Because if your product or service can change someone's life, if you can share a testimonial and, like he said, do that live video or live interview as a collaboration, what happens is when someone sees an average, ordinary person, someone who's not put together 100%, someone who they can really relate with, they see themselves in their story. And so that's been really huge for us. And the other way that we really use collaborations is helping our clients post on their social media profiles, sharing their testimonial as well. So instead of doing that live presentation using some kind of post form, and you can do it in stories, you can do it as a reel, you can do it on a regular static post, but them sharing their authentic journey. And this is where I see people go wrong, is sharing a curated story instead of an authentic story. And so what that looks like is actually with your client, if you can help them even write a post using their words, their grammar, their cadence, that is huge for their friends and their family to see, or their followers to see, you know, their true experience on a product.
Really great examples and points of how to use collaboration. Sorry, I hit the mic there. Really great examples. Like you give us a lot to think of there. And I love the fact that you guys mentioned the aspect of everybody likes to win. I mean, I don't know. I've never met a person in my life that has said, I don't want to win anything. I don't care for that. Even if it's something that they don't need, they can have it already and they would actually still want it. Meagen, how do you feel about some of the stuff that Kacy and Kylie shared? And obviously, please, I want to hear from you as well. How has collaborations benefited from you?
Definitely. So I think it's so important to realize the power of what Kai and Case just shared there about how your collaborations don't necessarily always have to be to grow. They can really be to build trust too, right? I mean, I love focusing on helping you grow and helping you gain that audience, but your audience is nothing if they don't trust you. And, if you're building this audience and they don't have that connection to you in some way of seeing that you are the person to help them get to where they want to go, and they see you as that resource, and there's no point. So I mean, having the collaboration help you reach a bunch of different goals is really the ultimate power play, being able to find ways to make it work for you, right? So sometimes when we think about doing a collaboration, we get nervous because we're like, we don't want to reach out to somebody else and ask them to collaborate with us. What if they say no? Well, you can start by asking smaller accounts, asking your friends, asking people you already really know well. It doesn't have to be a collaboration with a huge account. And it doesn't have to be a live. Like they also mentioned, you can do it through posts, you can do it through lives, you can do it through stories. There's lots of different ways. So testing out what works well for you and getting your toes wet, I guess, in a way that feels safe for you, is what I would suggest to do. And for me, myself, collaborations have helped in so many ways, especially on my fitness. Back when I first started my first Instagram, collaborations were one of the biggest ways that I grew, and getting like tagged features. And back then it was different where your collaborations weren't shown on your feed on Instagram.
Yeah.
But I would, do collaborations where they would post it just to their page, or I would post it just to my page and have each other tagged. And that was huge. I mean, I grew so much from that. And today in my current business, doing things like this, lives, connecting with other leaders, not only to grow, but also to grow my actual network, who I'm connected with and who I can reach out to, because, oh yeah, we had so-and-so on the podcast or on the social roundtable. And I remember they were an expert in email marketing. Well, I am launching a new product and I'm doing a big email campaign. Like I need their help. So I could go and find somebody I trust and connect that way. So they are so powerful in so many different ways. And I'm curious, I know I said that sometimes it can be kind of scary to reach out to new people and ask to collaborate. If you, everyone in the audience, let us know, if you were approached to do a collaboration by somebody else, would you say yes? If it was someone in your niche, you like the topic, would you be willing to do it if somebody asked you? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen, in the live chat. And if you're watching the replay, please go ahead and share with us if you've been contacted to do some form of collaboration. Put a thumbs up if you have, put a thumbs down if you haven't. We would love to see what you guys have experienced so far, because I don't know about you ladies. I get like one of those emails every day. It's like, this brand new AI tool, we would love to work with you. We get some of those quite often, but then every now and again, you get the real actual one that might be very interesting. It doesn't have to be always lucrative. It's not always has to be financial based for you to actually make some form or get something back from it. I feel like sometimes the best aspect of a collaboration is just getting to be in front of that person's audience and introducing yourself, because it's almost like they are giving you a shout out. They're giving you an opportunity in front of their audience to present your product or service, or just yourself, your brand. And that's, if missed, it's an opportunity that you would probably look back on and say, I really wish I was able to do that, because I wouldn't have been able to reach this audience without this collaboration. So I do see a couple thumbs up in the live chat. Glad to see that you guys are embarking on the journey of collaborations. And I think it's safe to say everybody here has done some form of collaboration, probably with each other, with different brands and more. And I'm hoping that you guys watching will get that opportunity as well if you haven't yet. But we want to kind of move over to the next question that I have for everybody, and I'll answer as well. And maybe these answers will help you move forward towards improving your opportunity to get better collaborations. I see a lot of thumbs up now in the live chat. All right, now that's awesome. So I want to ask you guys the next question. I'm going to go to you first now, Kylie, to answer this one, because since we are talking about collaborations, I think it's only right that we want to share a few collaboration tips for creators that are watching that have actually helped us. And hopefully you can learn how to grow with collabs and increase your reach and more. So once again, it's not just Instagram restrictive, but with whether it's Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram collaboration, what type of idea would you suggest, if we could kind of limit to one idea from each person? What idea that is easy and simple for creators to do to help get them started with collaborations?
What I love this question. My favorite way to introduce collaborations is actually through promoting a giveaway on my personal wall, and then or on my social media, and then anyone who comments on that post, asking them to collab with me. And so actually asking them to get entered in the giveaway, it's super simple. It's, throwing up a post, or it's doing this quick thing and I'll get you entered. So it's actually a way for you to incentivize someone to do a collab with you. So you have to really recognize in this conversation with collabs, there's a lot of different types of collaborations on social media. And so for this one, and you have to think about what your goal is of the collaboration, right? Is it to expand your network? Is it to grow your influence? Is it to close sales? Is it to
Build trust.
with your followers? And so if you're looking to grow and expand your network, it's going to be those people that comment on your post that maybe they might have a lower level of influence than you do, that you'll ask them to throw up some kind of post. But then like Meagen was sharing, when it comes to collabs and it's introducing to rock stars, one of my favorite ways to collab with, incredible people is actually giving them something personal in exchange. Maybe it's a free product to trial or whatever that is. So it depends who I'm talking with, what I'm going to offer them to incentivize them to collab with me. So those are, I'd say, my top ways is either to have them do a post to get entered in the giveaway, or if it's with an influencer, giving them a certain product in exchange for them doing a collaboration.
Okay, those are a few good ideas, and to the point, simple. I like that one where you say when they comment, you then introduce yourself to kind of do a collaboration together. That's a great way to find more people and build out your network. How about you, Kacy?
So what I love to do, if I have a certain topic that I want to introduce somebody to my audience, I really love reaching out to those people, but make sure when you're you have to do the work. You have to put the prospecting messages in, right? Heston, or there's a lot of people you might have to ask to get on your show. But what will happen is you're not going to get a lot of responses at first, right? You're going to suck at first. But you have to be comfortable being able to have that conversation. But I love what Angela said in the comments, right? In-person connections can build trust faster. And if there is an influence in your area and you want to be able to have them do a collaboration with you, and you don't really have any type of network, like, for example, Meagen is a social media influencer. She also happens to be my best friend. When I go to Meagen with something, it's a very different kind of a relationship because we have a friendship. Mm-hmm. And so if you can build a relationship with somebody quickly, if you go to an in-person networking meeting and you meet somebody who is a rock star and you know where she's going to be and you build that connection, or if Meagen does this, what's going to happen? Meagen will have them come on her Instagram and do an interview because she's already closed that gap. And so what I really love to do is I love to build a fast connection as quick as I can. And then that will encourage that influencer, that creator to provide value on my page. But I love providing value to them first.
And a really important thing to do in this process is, if you are in person with people, make sure you have that mindset to get connected with them, somehow get their information, right? Whether it's getting their text message, getting their social media. What I like to do when I do connect with someone, I'll connect with them. And then as soon as they follow me or I follow them, or phone number, I literally just take a screenshot on my phone. And then I take the marker and write where I met them real quick. And so then I know when I'm going through my photos later on, where I met them on, but to reach back out to them to continue that conversation.
And make sure you reach back out to them quickly, right? Like, hey, Meg, It was so great to meet you today at the networking event in Sarasota. It was really nice to pick your brain. I learned so much from you. Compliment them. Like, I can't wait to connect further and just keep that conversation going. But I make sure in that first message, I let the person know how I found them or how we got connected, because then when I'm going back through 5 years later, I know where they came from. I know how we connected, or even if they follow me, I'm making sure I start those conversations.
This is some great. I love those ideas. It's simple, straight to the point. You mentioned something that I don't hear a lot of people speak about, and it's kind of like the opposite of what you would expect on social media, which is to not be on social media, but contact them face to face, be in the real world and build these relationships. And I think sometimes we focus so much on the ease of we have our phone with us 24/7. It's with us all the time. And we so focus on that sometimes we forget to just go outside, touch grass, and meet everybody else who's outside as well, and just spark up a conversation. So that's a really great idea of finding those I could create collaborations with. And as you said, it builds that connection of trust much faster than online. I think if I'm not mistaken, you need a couple surface points to get in contact with them before they fully trust you. It's a lot faster, as you're describing, when it's face to face, because they get to learn about you and discover more relative things that they might find in common with you. Great examples.
And it takes a lot of contact points, right? Like, Meagen, if somebody is reaching out to you to collaborate, how many contact points does it take for you to actually say yes?
Yeah. I mean, I guess that depends on the season of my life and what's going on, how busy I am. But yeah, it usually does take quite a few. I mean, even when it's a brand that I love, like if they reach out, and I guess I'm saying brand, not like a person collaborating.
But a brand is a great example.
I mean, it might take like 2 emails or 2 DMs for me to see that. But then when it comes to like, working with another creator, that could be, back and forth for a couple weeks, because we're really, getting to know each other a little more, or bouncing ideas off of, what we should really do for a collab. And it can be a while to get it.
That's
great points, ladies.
Yeah, great point. And
yes,
something I want to bring up when it comes to the social media world is, if you have your mindset every 1 in 10 people are going to say yes, then you're never going to be disappointed. And so when you're reaching out to people, I always have that mindset, every 1 in 10. And that's where, when we're coaching and mentoring our team, when people aren't saying yes to doing their collaborations, they get discouraged. And I have to remind them about the law of averages, and it makes them feel better when people don't respond to them.
I also have to remind them their style could be off. If your energy is they're not going to say yes, no one ever collabs with me, guess what? You attract that right back to you. And I see it over and over. If you feel desperation, nobody will ever collab with you. And like, if you're playing more of like kind of the hard to get, right? People want to collab with you, but that desperation energy, you can feel it. So if you're about to go into your DM, I want you to do a mindset check. Tell yourself, right? I am going to get a collaboration today. I am so excited, because that self-talk, that energy, that style, it goes through the internet. That energy, right? Like, our thoughts are the most potent form of energy there is. And if your thoughts are negative, even though you're still sending that message, it's not even worth you sending that message, right? You're going to get turned down a lot. So keep that in mind. The mindset plays a huge role into it.
Powerful words, very powerful words and actions that I think a lot of people watching can definitely take and move forward with to start their journey with collaborations. Those are just the first 2. We have 2 more to share with you guys as well as we go to Meagen, but in a moment. Just want to remind you guys, this is the Social Roundtable that you are watching here on our channel, live here on our channel with both Meagen and my own channel as well. We are streaming to two different channels, but nonetheless, we would love for you to take an opportunity and like and subscribe to our channels and videos respectively. Thank you so much for joining us here and engaging in this conversation with our special guests, Kacy and Kylie, joining us to discuss all about easy ways that you guys can get started with collaborations on any platform: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, TikTok, whatever it is. A lot of these ideas you could take and actually move them from different platforms, change them a little bit, and make it work for you and as best as it can on that respective platform. Once again, if you have any questions, go ahead and post them in the live chat. We will probably take a little bit of time for a little short Q&A at the end of our conversation. Meagen, I got to go to you. I want to hear from you as well. What is, just to remind those that are watching, I'll read the question once more. The question is, which Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram collaboration idea would you suggest that are easy for creators to do?
Okay, I know the question is easy, but I'm going to say reels or shorts or a TikTok video, which sometimes isn't always the easiest because there's a lot that goes into creating, you know, a reel alone, right? Like there can be a lot of steps and a lot to the process, but I choose this one because it can be a lot of fun. Like I love the whole creative process behind it and coming up with the ideas of how are we going to be able to tell this story, paint this picture, you know, with both of us on video. With maybe you're not in the same state, maybe you're not in the same country, right? Like you may not be together to do a collaboration both on the same screen at the same time. And so how do you bring that in and allow your audience and their audience to see both of you? And this is something Heston and I have had a lot of experience doing our collab reels. In the past, we used to do collaboration reels for the social roundtable where we were, you know, promoting different ones that were coming up or, you know, old ones that we've done and, you know, getting people to go back and watch them. And it's fun to come up with the ideas of, like, we did one where we did like 5 different transitions back and forth. And
Yes, that was a
like
lot.
it was a lot to plan, but you know, I sat down and wrote down, okay, so it's going to start with, I can't remember, I think we both started on screen and I did like a
Yes.
split screen. He recorded his, I recorded mine, and like I don't remember who was on top, but we like looked at each other like, oh, you're on screen, like you're here too. And then we, you know, transitioned of that through like a paper to the other person, and like he caught it, and then the hat cover, like I don't know, it was lots of cool ways to create a meaningful piece of content, and it captured people's attention, it kept people's attention, and it was enjoyable to make. That's so important, right? We're on social media for a lot of different reasons. I want you to hit your goals, but if you're not having fun doing it, then you're not going to stay consistent with it. And when you bring in that other person and that creative mindset, just it's next level. That mastermind starts to form where you're getting all the fun ideas and you guys both care about that piece of content. So there's more love that goes into it, and your audience has a better chance of feeling that and then trusting each other as well, and finding new followers from their audience. So I know easy, maybe not, but fun and creative and giving you lots of space to really create something that is unique. I would say reels.
That is a great one. First off, it's been a while since I've even thought of that reel that we did together, Meagen. And we might have to repost that again now that I'm thinking about it, because we did it well over a year ago, and that was a very successful reel that I did for a collaboration. I really enjoyed it. We might have to bring that one back. You know, there's nothing wrong with reposting your content. Okay, so let's remind people of that.
Yes.
Definitely. But that's a great addition. I'm actually no, we didn't share our answers before this live, so this is somewhat similar to what Meagen is sharing, but I'm going to go. Let's say I'm going to make it a little bit easier, Meagen, because as you described with that reel, it was a little bit more. First off, you did most of the planning, the outlining of that reel, which I think is a good thing for a lot of people. You had to have some form of plan, or the collaboration would just fail. You need to plan to work together. So I have to admit, Meagen did a lot of the planning because she's very familiar with video editing compared to my experience at that point, and she did an incredible job. But maybe that might sound like you might be a little bit too much. Maybe you don't like reels. I'm gonna consider something I started seeing lately, where it's pretty much part ones and part twos, but it's on each other's respective account. So let's just say it was me and Meagen. In that same example, we were probably listing the top 10 ways to go and create a collaboration. Well, Meagen can have the first half of the list, 1 through 5. She could describe it however she wants and do it in a reel, a carousel, maybe even a single image. But on the post, she would say, if you want more, 6 through 10 is being shared on my friend's page, and that would be me, and vice versa, where I would give them this my top 5 and then say go and visit Meagen for hers as well. Whoever's interested from our audience in regards to that content, they're going to want more. And it's an opportunity for them to not just get more, but now be introduced to your collaborator. But it's a little bit less intensive of work because I could design it the way I want and Meagen could design it the way that she wants. So it's the same type of content in regards to the context of what we're discussing, the topic, but it might be presented in a different way that's more reflective of each individual in the collaboration. And that might be a little bit easier for those that want to do it. The best thing is that this can be applied to any platform, whether it's Facebook. It can be even applied to Threads. I've considered doing this on Threads, where if somebody had a list of maybe the top 10 movies of the year, Meagen could put out her top 5 and I could put out my top 5. Some of them might meet, but you'll get a lot of discussion. You'll get a lot of discussion in regards to that topic. So think of ways outside the box that might be a little bit more simple for you to kind of create these things where it's a part 1 and part 2, and it's on each other's respective accounts, no matter what social media platform.
Yeah, I really love that idea. I see that on YouTube, I think most.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I think coming up with ways to, that's so powerful because you're not only just like seeing both people, maybe they'll go over and, follow the other person. It's like they're more likely to go over to that page because they only got half of it. They want the next
Yes.
half. It's like really
Yeah.
that next level step to get people to feel more like they are getting something out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there you guys go. We just shared with you 4 easy ways for you to get started with collaboration. You could get started with all of these ideas today if you'd really like to. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that part of our conversation with our special guests, Kacy and Kylie, joining us today on that topic of 4 easy ways you can collab with Instagram and any type of platform with the creators. And it doesn't have to be high influencers. It could be anybody. So as always, we hope you take that information and move forward and step your gram up. We're going to go over to a little game that we like to play. Kacy and Kylie, I believe that you might be familiar with the game that I think we were doing it when we were on IG Live when you guys joined us. Well, we continue doing this game. We might have different variations. I don't know what the questions are. I don't know which game has been chosen because Meagen is in charge of that, and she's going to lead us in regards to this new game. I shouldn't say new game. This game that everybody watching can get involved with as well, whether you're watching live or the replay. So, Meagen, I'll let you lead off, and I'm curious to see what you have in store for us.
Awesome. Well, this is going to be our Would You Rather game, and I will start by asking with the options here on screen going around with our answers, and then everyone in the audience, please feel free to join in. We love knowing your responses as well. So, first one, would you rather A, go live with a fellow creator, or B, do a real collaboration with a fellow creator? I'll ask Kacy first.
I would rather go live with a fellow creator only because it's easier, right? As Heston said, Meagen did most of the work, right? And Meagen you should see, if you haven't seen Meagen create a reel, you probably haven't. The amount of time, right? She puts so much effort into the reel she creates. It might look perfect. It could have taken her 10 hours to make it. And right, Meg?
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like it's easy. It's like, oh, that was so good, right? It was 5 seconds. But so I would much rather go live with somebody just because it's faster, it's easier. It's not in my skill set. my strength zone is going live, right? My strength zone is not creating like a reel. And then I would be frustrated and probably quit. I would want to give up with it. But that's us being social media creators. You get frustrated almost every day. I actually called Kylie yesterday and I called Meagen, she didn't answer because my Instagram stories wouldn't post. And I was so annoyed because I recorded it, wouldn't post. And it wouldn't post. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm not going to post a story. Right. Because I got frustrated. So the reel would frustrate me.
Yeah. Yep. I can see that. Kai, what would you say?
I would also say live because I have just fun on lives. I find so much enjoyment for keeping things spontaneous and asking people questions and getting to know people. It's something that I just love doing. And I really appreciate this conversation because as you can see with Meagen and Heston and Kacy, what we're just sharing how to gamify social media, right? What can you do to make social media a game? And so what are the things that you love doing? What things do you find joy in? Do more of those things, but also you got to do the things outside of your comfort zone. And like Kacy mentioned with Meagen doing the reels right now, remember, never compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 12 or 13, right? And when you see a video and you're like, oh my gosh, I could never be like Meagen, so I never should probably post a reel because I'm horrible at video. Well, you know how Meagen got really good at video is she's done thousands of them. She's edited thousands of them and she's a master of her craft. So for me personally, it would be the live video because I just find fun and joy in live videos.
Oh, yes. Awesome. I had a feeling that you guys would both say that. And Heston, what would you say?
Well, I think you know what I would say.
Yeah.
We're going to make it 3 for 3. It would definitely be lives. I enjoy going live. And I think it's an opportunity, as you guys are witnessing right now, we're live on this video. And it's an opportunity, as Kacy and Kylie are doing perfectly, they're speaking to the audience that Meagen and I usually have watching every week. So it's an opportunity for you watching to get to know Kacy and Kylie, what they specialize in, some of the humor, the characteristics. It's an opportunity for me to go live and say, hey, these are my friends. I want you guys to get to know them as well. And hopefully you guys would actually do that. I'm going to just remind you guys one more time. Speaking of, if you would like to get to know Kacy and Kylie better, you can drop in the description of this video and check out their links, both of them, to their respective Instagram pages.
Yes.
So yeah, I think I would go with live.
Okay. I think everyone in the chat on my YouTube also is saying A, live. And then Heston, yours is frozen on me, so I don't know if you see.
I see Laura actually mentioned B.
Oh.
Laura said B, so she's going with reels.
Yes. Awesome. I love that. Thank you everyone for those answers. I'll say actually surprise. I think I would choose live because they are easier, even though I love doing the reels, but yeah, the time that goes into it, I feel like I can do more lives, and be able to get more. Yeah. So,
and you can tap into somebody else's genius more, right? If you're live, like you get them to bring their genius. And I love what John Maxwell says, my best ideas come from other people. And that's why a podcast, you're listening to a podcast, it's an interview. They're in the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. They talk about the power of the mastermind. The power of the mastermind is when 2 or more minds are together. An additional mind is formed. And so that's the power of these collaborations, is you get to bring people together. And there's this energy that happens where amazing ideas might not have come from what Meagen said or what Heston said or what Kylie or I said, but we give you an idea of how to get scrappy, how to show up differently. And maybe it was an idea you came up with because of something Heston said.
Yeah, that is true.
You just like blew my mind in regards to that one. I love that line. I get my best ideas from other people. I like that. I want to read one comment from the live chat. Greg is trying to think outside the box. He kind of cheated. Greg said alive. He chooses alive because it can be used to become a reel, which he's not wrong. He's absolutely right in regards to that. I see what you did there, Greg. I see what you did. Very, very good thinking out there.
Yes, I love that. And real quick before we go to the second second question here. I'm going to say Iris in the chat over here says, really good to hear that we know not to compare, but we fall into that trap sometimes, talking about the comparison. And, going live is something that I always say is, collab, don't compete. You're not competing with these people that are other leaders in your industry. Use them as inspiration. Use them as like someone to look up to. If like they can do it, I can do it. I can learn from them, with them. I can add to their audience as well. It's been said multiple times here on this live that we all have different skill sets. We all have something that's special and unique and that we're good at. So even if you're collaborating with somebody who like it looks like their stuff so perfect, they had to get there somehow, right? And you have things that they wish they could do. So that's a really good point too. Next question, here we go. Would you rather collaborate on Facebook, collaborate on YouTube, or collaborate on Instagram?
Meg, you want to answer that first?
Oh, wow. Okay, this one's never happened. Yeah, I guess.
That's what. First off, this is what happens when you bring your best friend onto the show.
I know, a little spicy over there. She already called me out for not answering her phone call. Yes, I will. I guess I would say probably YouTube, just because it's different, and I think that it would be. I know. Well, we do it, Heston and I here. But just because it's different. Yeah, really, I don't think there's any other reason. Just having like a different challenge for sure. Okay, back over here to Kacy. What would you say?
I would say Facebook again, right, in my strength zone. But this is my first YouTube live, I think. I don't know if I've ever done one before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Heston, thank you for teaching this. Meagen and I and Kylie have talked about how wonderful you are with YouTube and how amazing and just a genius you are with it. And thank you for bringing us on your platform.
So
thank you. We're definitely glad to have you join us.
I would say live on Facebook, but let me share with you, Kacy and I, our gold mine is actually doing live videos in private Facebook communities. And the reason being is we do, a lot of times we'll do like an event page to promote it. And if you do a live in a community, you can invite all who in that Facebook group to the event page, and then they get a notification when you go live. So we found a lot of success.
Well, they not only get an invite where they put it in the calendar, they get a reminder an hour before, right? They get a reminder when you're live.
Oh, really?
So a lot more people will be live with the event page.
And something else to touch on about the comparison thing, I just did the math. So for Kacy and I, we've actually done 3,003 live videos in a row. So that's over 8 years. So this is always important to remember is never if you do something every single day for 8 years, you're gonna get good at it.
I hope you'd get better, right?
But you're gonna go backfill for a while, and it's hard for you to get better. So I think it's really important to remember, just trust your journey and just keep being consistent.
And don't check your gauges, right? The algorithms are always changing, and people can beat themselves up if they get a certain amount of views, right? It's just keep focusing on serving somebody else, even if you get in your mind, right? We get frustrated, right? Use that frustration as fascination. If somebody is better than you, right? Figure out why they're so good. Learn from them, but have that mindset when you go into the collaboration is let's do this together. Let's help each other. Let's win together. Like we can learn from each other, and that makes a really big difference.
And with Meagen and Heston, what you guys are doing here is so valuable with collaborations. How do you get people to do a collaboration? Invite them to your show, right? Doing some kind of weekly show. I think that is just so genius to reach out to incredible people to connect with them. So huge shout out to you guys for being awesome.
Thank you. Heston, what would your answer be?
I was gonna try to switch it up. I really like going live on Instagram and Facebook. I just feel like Instagram has made a lot of changes in regards to the way that lives are done now compared to when me and Meg used to do them before on Instagram. And it's not as intuitive to grow and collaborate as before. And I'll give you an example. I did a collaboration with somebody that had 500,000 followers on Instagram Live. I've done lives with this person 3 other times prior. He's actually been on the social roundtable. And each time we done very well with the views. But this was around the time when Instagram made changes, and all the previous times we've got thousands of viewers. Not to say that that's super important, but those were the metrics. We got thousands of viewers. Well, with this change now that Instagram has made to lives, because I truly believe that they're starting to downplay them a little bit. I got 50 viewers on that stream, which is significantly lower than I'm accustomed to with that individual. And I've noticed it consecutively doing this with other people's lives. So I feel like Instagram is changing lives to not be as beneficial for collaborations, unfortunately. I still feel like you can do them and have fun, enjoy them. If you do them single by yourself, it's a great way to connect with your audience. If you are marketing, I mean, hey, that audience has joined into your life. It's already warm. I don't feel like there's a better way to connect with that person and go through the know, like, trust factor to really build that with them. But if you're looking to really collaborate and grow and really get in front of a brand new audience, I think YouTube might be the one for you. YouTube. And I'm very interested. We might have to talk a little bit more about what you described in regards to the events page on Facebook and how that works with the reminders and notifications. Because as soon as you mention that, I'm like, yeah, we need that on YouTube. Like, I would love something like that on YouTube. They do reminders, but it doesn't seem as intuitive as you're describing with Facebook.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, the way that Facebook keeps people on their platform is really good and allows you to build stronger communities. YouTube sometimes can be difficult because there's not as many spaces, right? Like it's a page. So definitely. Well, thank you everyone for your answers and playing along in the game.
Always a great set of questions that you have for us, Meagen. Thank you so much for leading through with that. I'm going to ask the audience if they have any questions for Q&A. But while we wait to see if they have any questions, I would love to give Kacy and Kylie an opportunity to share anything that they would like to share in regards to what is coming up soon that they have. You guys said that there's a launch phase that you guys are probably in the midst of. And where else can the audience connect with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we're in the launch phase of our business, and what we're doing every day on our Facebook profiles is we're sharing how to launch, right? We're sharing what we're doing to launch. We're taking people on the journey with us. And so if you're launching a new business, follow us. We check in every single day, but there are different things you're going to notice during a launch period, right? There's a pre-launch, there's a launch, right? There's like an onboarding after that. So there's a lot of steps. But with launching something new, you can't quit when things get hard. You have to keep going. You have to keep showing up. And that's what we're doing right now is we're taking people on the journey with us from starting over, like hitting the reset button, building something new. And maybe that's the story you're missing. And this is a conversation we have a lot. I love the book U Squared by Price Pritchett. And it talks.
If you've read it, I need to know.
Yeah. And if you haven't,
in the comments,
you need to go pick up this book. You could buy it from his website. It's like 70 pages. But he talks about how do you create a quantum leap. And a quantum leap in your business, right? It's creating a new story. It's creating that new story. And it could be in so many different ways. Like when Meagen rebuilt her social media account, she started a new one. She created a new story. And that's what you're going to have to do to grow. And when you're creating that new story, taking people on the journey with you is going to allow people to stay loyal to you. But you just might need to share something different to catch somebody to bring them in. And once you share that new story, you're bringing them in, you're taking them on the journey with you. But your story might be dull. It might be boring. And if you can just tweak it to capture different eyes, that might be the thing that will make the biggest difference. So that's what we're up to right now. We're having so much fun with this, and we're working with a lot of different kinds of people. But during the launch period, what are you doing mainly? You're looking at what's working, what's not working. How can I create a feedback loop? And that's the fastest you're going to grow anything. What I did wrong for so long is I never created a feedback loop. I just kept checking the box. Or I was watching everyone else do it. Right. I was watching everyone else have success. And maybe that's where you are, where you're like, I want to have success. I see everyone around me is having success. Maybe there's people that are having success right now, and they started building a following after you. I know for me, that was motivating, right? People were having more success than me in my business, and they started after me. And so what I had to really go back to is
what are the most needle moving activities for my business? And each one of us has different goals in business, whether it's you're looking to make extra money, you're looking to lead, maybe you're leading a team, maybe your goal is to grow a following. Whatever your goal is, you have to
You want to get out of your full-time job.
You have to narrow it down. Okay, so then what are the things that are going to get me closer to the goal? Because here's the truth, most of the time, those things aren't fun, right? It's not fun to prospect. It's not fun to follow up with people. It's not fun to do those things. But at the end of the day, when you do those things, that's going to get you closer. So you have to learn to fall in love with that process. And like Kacy mentioned, when it comes to building a new story, a question that we've gotten a lot from our team is, well, how do I know what my story is? Right? Maybe it's your niche or what you're really promoting. Here's the truth. It takes time to figure that out. And when you do that feedback loop, when Kacy and I, so what happened to us 90 days ago, the company we were partnered with shut down overnight.
After 10 years.
Oh, after 10 years.
Wow.
Like totally a shocking experience. So what did Kacy and I do? Did we crawl in a hole and cry and feel bad for ourselves? No. Right. We knew that we were going to figure out our next move. We knew that everything happened for a reason. So we shared that raw, authentic story of what it's like to start completely over. And from that experience, there's been people that now are joining us or buying our products today that say, I saw that first video that you did. And it was because we were one of the first ones to share what had happened. Right? We were the first to the table to share that experience. And remember that people, they're going to fall in love with your journey, and you don't need to be perfect. Like my boyfriend, he owns a restaurant and they've been renovating and they've been improving things. But the one thing no one knows about is what they've done to get better. Right? On social media, they don't really post. They haven't built a following or anything. And if people would have just seen the beginning of, hey, we're renovating the dining room. Hey, we're doing this part. The local community, they would feel like they're a part of that process. So bring people in. You don't need to be further ahead than you are. Just start where you are.
Great examples. Really, really great examples in regards to that. And like I said, you guys have a great story to share yourselves. And I think you are doing very good by the people that are following you. And I hope that those are in the live chat now and watching the replay would give you both an opportunity and learn a little bit more about you. The best way for you guys to do that, please check out the description below for all of the links. You can check out Kacy and Kylie on their respective pages and learn a little bit more and see how they can best help you with your own story. I think we're pretty much near the end of our live now. We did get one question. This is from Greg. So we'll use this as a one question for our Q&A. Greg asked, he has a new book called The Excellent Engagement Code. It's for teachers, educators, and English language specialists. Where would I start to get the collabs? So he wants to know, where would he find collabs for that particular niche? I want to jump in and immediately say, look at something that Meagen has shared earlier, and don't look at your competitors as competitors, but look at them as peers, as collaborators. So even if you guys are in the same industry and same niche, take an opportunity to see what can come out of that. I mean, even if you look at even fast food joints, sometimes fast food joints do collaborations together. And those are sometimes the most interesting things when we see them on social media. I don't know if you guys follow Wendy's. I don't eat from Wendy's, but there's some times where I see Wendy's goes back and forth with other fast food places. And you can tell some of it is planned, but it leads to some interesting collaborations. And, I'm just there watching the threads and the tweets and, eating popcorn because it's just interesting. But you'd be surprised where you can find a commonality between your collaborators, even if they're in the same industry as you. Mm-hmm. Do you guys have anything else that you want to add to this?
We actually work with a lot of teachers on our team. So I love this question. And so it's almost a question about, also how do you connect with more teachers? Where are they? Right. In this summer phase, we just had one of our girls on our team. She went to a teacher conference. Right. So even if you got out of the box a little bit and you networked at one of those kind of conferences, that would be a really great way, because at some kind of teacher conference or maybe an English teacher conference, right? You networking with those people in person, it could potentially create an amazing collaboration. And one of the best ways I believe to get sales is through referrals of someone you know. So once you can get into those communities and get creative of how you can be in those communities, it can be super, super valuable.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was going to say something very similar of finding the people that are connected to who your book is for, right? So if it's for teachers, students, sorry, I forgot the other target audience that you mentioned there, Greg, but it's connecting with who are they watching? Who are they consuming content from? And find that common purpose that you guys can do a live about around the broader topics that you speak about, not necessarily a collaboration just promoting the book and maybe their product. It's really serving your audience and serving their audience together in a way that can lead them to the book. Yeah.
Meagen, I'll add one more thing to that. What I would do, Greg, is I would go to Amazon, find the topics that are similar to what your book is, and then find a way to connect with every single of those top book authors. A lot of them are going to, if you find the right contact information, they're going to want to promote their book too, right? They're going to want to find people who are similar, but they're not willing to get scrappy. Like those people have already promoted those books. They've built, like they already have books that are published. I know you have an ebook, but then or the top sellers say, hey, Sharon, I saw that you have the top Amazon book when it comes to X, Y, and Z. I'm currently in the process of launching an ebook. I would love to hear like what worked best for you to launch your book. I love in the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey talks about a win-win mindset and a win-lose mindset. A win-win mindset is like if you go to the gym, I see Heston's the strongest guy in the gym, and it's my first day. If I go up to Heston because I see that he's strong and I say, hey, will you give me some tips? Guess what he's going to do? He has that abundance mindset. He has that win-win mindset. And he'll say, yeah, Case, here, let me show you. Like I remember one time Kylie and I and Meagen are at the gym. We went to the strongest guy to help us spot us, right? We became friends with him. But that's what that person in your industry, if they're at the top of the list, they wish somebody else would have helped them. Like figure out who that is, find unique ways to connect with them, either be humble and compliment them or find a way to provide value and collaborate with them.
Yeah. And when you ask, be bold with your asking. I think sometimes we think we're not good enough or we're not at the right level to ask someone for their advice. But if you think about where you are, what do you love talking about? It's things you have experience in. It's things that you've had success in. And so really flipping that mindset about, everyone who has success, they do love to share how they got there. And just being curious about other people is so valuable.
Great answers. And that's exactly what Greg said in the live chat. Great answers. Thanks. So thank you very much for those responses, everybody. And we're a little bit past the hour. So thank you so much for joining us. This was a really great conversation with the incredible Kacy and Kylie joining us to talk all about collaborations. And we spoke a little bit more about some outside things as well. But I really enjoyed the conversation, ladies. This was amazing. As I said, you know where to find Kacy and Kylie. The links are in the description, as well as for Meagen and our moderator, Angela. Thank you so much, Angela, for sharing and just working with us in the live chat. Definitely respect you and appreciate all that you're doing for us. Meagen, give you an opportunity to share where you can be found as well.
Yeah, definitely. Won't waste your guys' time. Go to the descriptions. Links are there. And as always, we are here every Monday. So come back and visit us next Monday at 12 p.m. for our next topic with our next guests.
Absolutely. So like Meagen said, all the links in the bottom. If you want to connect with myself as well, you can find me right there also. So thank you guys for joining us. See you guys next week. Thank you once again, Kacy and Kylie, for joining us. And we will chat with you guys in the audience later. Until next time, have a great weekend. A great week. What am I talking about? Weekend. I'm like trying to rush Friday already. All right, Kacy and Kylie. Uh-oh.